It's a great day to be a Coyote. Welcome, Coyote Nation, to another episode of Back to Pack Podcast, where we are going to be bringing you all of your favorite games, memories, and of course, discussion with our fellow Coyotes. As a disclaimer, we have no affiliation to the University of South Dakota. This is a podcast ran by fans for fans. The ideas and comments do not represent the university. Our opinions are our own. Be sure to find us on Twitter at BackToPackSD. With that being said, let's jump in. There it is.
Gentlemen. Let's go.
I put the screen off to the side and I flip over and I just see Mitch sitting down. So I missed the Aiden shirt show off.
Oh, it's tradition now. I mean, that thing hasn't been washed in weeks like we were talking about.
Yeah, what is it? 11 touchdowns in 3 games since I bought this shirt? I haven't taken it off since.
You should buy a second one.
That could be real dangerous.
That could be.
Oh, let's go.
Shirt. You'll be playing on Sundays.
Let's go, fellas. Let's do this thing. Got a ton of people piling in here, Coyote Nation. Look at this.
Here we go. It's that time of year, right? I think we get a lot of course, the Coyote faithful, but there's a lot of people that are extremely interested about this game, and all eyes are going to be in our game on ABC, as we know. So, man, I'm excited. If you're a casual football fan and you tune into this game, I think you're going to be real pleased with what you see on Saturday.
Well, and I actually want to pull this one up. Welcome in, Grizz
there
fans
we go.
showing up. Welcome. This is awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to get into the breakdown of this game. It is a very interesting opportunity that we got for both teams here, so it's going to be a good show. So thanks for joining us.
Man, with how well Grizz fans turn out, I'm not surprised. I fully expect to have a decent crowd of Grizz fans in here tonight, actually.
Oh, yes. If they found us and caught wind, I think they'll be in here. So we'll be highlighting some comments, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, should I maybe I'll stir the pot a little bit. Montana State helped set the record for most viewed show.
That's true.
They did last year. That's right.
Semifinal game. Absolutely.
So are Montana fans going to step up and be better than them? I guess we'll find out. And then this will be the judge of which program's the best out of Montana.
There you go. I love that.
A big old stick he's stirring tonight.
All right, we got welcome in Coyote Nation here too. While we're at it, guys, Yote fan first, as always. He's coming in with the gold medal. He's ready. At what time was he in here today? 5:13. Nice and early.
I probably made the show at like 5:12. So
Matt's missing tonight, guys. Obviously not happy about it, but 38-27. Yote's jumping right to the prediction there.
Ooh.
Not wasting any time.
Hold the phone. It's not prediction time yet.
Yeah, that's right. Ray, Mitch, you gonna find bear meat this week? Man, I wish.
That's so bad for you.
If I was doing a tailgate, Ray, we'd definitely be grilling up some bear meat.
That's how you get brain worms.
What else we got? Sarah, how about Sarah Wells, guys? I'm gonna add a beard to my stash and go in as a Grizz for the sneak attack. Let's go. Speaking of those mustaches, fellas, they're looking real nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mine definitely looks better now than when it is in the highlight video of USD football.
Oh, we got Ray's in here. Woohoo! Hey, he's bringing the fam to Missoula.
Oh,
saw a comment.
You got room in that? You got room in that Traverse for one more?
I say, can we just hop in the luggage?
I'll bring the beer.
Here we go. How about this? You got old Max Evans 4. Mitch, I love your shirt. Hey, appreciate that. I love that you love my shirt. All right, fellas, let's jump into this thing.
Let's do it.
We have a sick graphic that was put out by the SD Coyotes football Twitter guys. Unbelievable how amazingly cool this is. And obviously, Wa Grizz gets the attention for how cool their stadium is with the mountains in the background. But seeing LJ in the snow, man, this looks pretty sweet.
They absolutely crushed it. It looks fantastic. And I mean, they always do a pretty darn good job with all this stuff, but this one is top notch.
For sure.
This one grabbed the attention this week for sure. I love that one. That's a top 3 graphic for me that I've seen this year.
And then actually I want to give a shout out because Joe Erickson actually hooked me up with who created this. This is Cooper Davis out of Sioux Falls here that made this one. So nice. Give him actually a follow on Instagram. He does a lot of really cool edits like this, but this one was top notch. So great job, Cooper.
Yeah, he does a lot of those for recruits too. You see those commits and signing day graphics and stuff like that. He does a fantastic job with those. So yeah, shout out Cooper Davis for sure. All right, fellas, quick peek here before we dive in. Alex's Lemonade Stand, boys, we talked about it, but we had a $5,000 donation come in. That skyrocketed us up and had a few more small donations come in since the last time we met, but we are at 39,753 on the year and head and shoulders above the competition now with Chase Mason at 33,541.
And fun fact, we're still waiting for our $1,000 from Northwestern. So there's more to come, but we are 247 away from 40,000. Do you guys think we could hit that before game? Let's go 40 even.
I think that's a good goal.
40 burger before game time is very doable. I agree with that.
I think that's something to definitely put some effort into. One thing I will say to the Coyote fans, if you haven't done your Lemonhead challenge yet, that's where it's at. That's free money right there.
You're sitting on
$50. You're not even utilizing it.
Yes. And actually, Jake, that reminds me, I should probably post those instructions at some point here over the weekend. That'd be a good thing to do while you're gearing up for the game on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I'm going to crash the JJ's watch party, and I'm working with Tom, and I think there's going to be a couple lemons on every table. So
nice.
Perfect.
We'll make life easy for everyone.
Love that. All right. So great
resistance is good.
Great work, Coyote Nation. We are holding strong here in the lead, and that's what's important. So all for the kids. All right, guys, we talked about it already, but playoff mustaches.
That's where it's at.
That's where it's at.
They're rocking.
Grant, what did you say? Every day they get bushier and they gain a little more power. They level up.
That's right. Every passing game day win, the mustaches become more powerful because they're working. So it's every day more powerful.
We're not superstitious on the show, I promise.
No, we are a little stitious.
Just a little stitious. All right, guys, we were asked this at the end of last show to re-rank the Elite Eight because of all the craziness that's happened in the bracket. And you can see Sam Herder's tweet here with the games and the times and the seeds and whatnot. I think that UC Davis game is at 4:00?
I'm not sure actually on that one.
Yes, it is.
I think it's 4:00.
Yeah.
So
yes.
But anyway, yeah, I don't. Do you guys want to take a stab at this real quick and just give your high level thoughts? Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or give me the top four? Or what are you thinking? Because I've thought about this, guys, and outside of the Coyotes being number one, I can't figure it out. Like it's kind of a mind bender thinking about this.
We're talking neutral site, two teams playing each other. How are we ranking them? Taking out the home field advantage. Is that kind of what we're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tricky because I will say it. Montana looked really good against the Bunnies too. They made Chase Mason skittish in the pocket. He had the hottest feet I've ever seen. Couldn't set his feet, and he was sailing everything because of them. So, I mean, it's hard not to even kind of contemplate Montana flirting with being number one on this one over Montana State, even though I know Montana State does have the head-to-head. But that was an impressive win. And then Montana State struggled a little bit with Yale. So that's definitely a question mark on it, whether it is Yale that good and that 35-point comeback on Youngstown means something or not. And then Illinois State knocking off the number one team in the nation on their home field as 23-point underdogs. I mean, that's definitely they've lost 5 games. So that's a red flag there, but winning that game is impressive in its own.
Yeah, I legit think you could make an argument for almost all 8 of these, right? To be in that 1, 2, 3 spot. I don't know. Yeah. I'm just struggling because it's hard to compare across conferences too in competition. Like we know what the Valley and Big Sky is, but like Tarleton's very, very dangerous. And so I don't know, guys. Like this is harder than it looks.
And Tarleton looks steady.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I will say I think what I'll take away from this, and this is maybe a cop-out from the 1 through 8 ranking, but I think the top 3 teams are all on the same side, and I think it's us, Montana State. So
I like that.
I think we're playing at such a high level right now that God forbid we got somebody at the Dome, right? I mean, I wouldn't wish that upon anybody on this bracket because they know the result would be. But I think Montana State, and us are, I think, top 3. I think Tarleton's not far behind. They have a super favorable path. I'll be stunned if they don't come out of the other side of the bracket, to be honest. I know Illinois State's done some good things here recently. But
you're basically, they just go knock off number 1 at home and you put them at 5. Like that's what makes this so difficult, right?
It is. It's not fair, right? Because Illinois State, that's the other part. In a vacuum, Illinois State can beat any team on this sheet, right? Just the same way that USD can beat any team. Montana State, Tarleton, like
there's a reason they're in the Final 8.
Exactly. Everybody's here for the Final 8. To be honest, I don't know enough about SFA to really make a fair judgment on them. Villanova, I've watched a few quarters of them play, and I think the road ends for them this week, right? But it's tough, right? There's 8 teams left in the country. Like, there's no bad football teams left on this list. But I do think the thing I'm the most confident is those top 3, us and the Montana schools for sure.
Okay.
It's kind of a shame we're on the same side, to be honest. But
agreed.
That's what happens when number 1 goes down.
I think it's the most wide open it's ever been, number 1. And number 2, I think this is going to be the most fun that it's been in a long time, because you have 8 schools that are just wanting to, get their hands on that trophy for the first time for some of these, and a long time for a lot of these.
Yeah, I think everybody feels it too, right? Like, all these teams saw NDSU go down, and that just changed everything, because what have we heard literally all year long is that literally all year long it's been we got a visitor.
We got a visitor. Yep, there you go.
But we've all year long we've heard, everyone's playing for second, right? Like, NDSU is going to walk through this tournament. They're just going to roll everybody. They're 20, 28 point, 30 point favorites. Like, not even going to be a game, and now here we are, right? So
and the craziest part. Oh, keep going. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, so it's wide open, to your point. I mean, this is as wide open as it's been in, I don't know, 7 years.
Yeah, well, and don't forget the fact that it's going to be 10 years since we've seen a championship game without North Dakota or South Dakota State in the championship. So that, is big in its own. But honestly, like, Illinois State should have won bigger. Like, that game was so weird.
See, and you could make the argument that they should have lost by a lot, right? That game was that game was drunk, as we say, right? I mean, that game was out of control. So I'm excited. This thing is so wide open. I think I'm actually excited to watch every game this weekend, which that's not always the case. Typically, it's not the case. There's like 1 or 2 games where you're like, not going to be that close. Every game should be competitive this weekend.
Well, thanks for bringing making our heads a little big, Tyler.
That's right. That's right. Let's not forget.
There's only one Illinois team left in the playoffs. And Mitch, can you help us out with that that Illinois team that's still in the?
Yeah, it's the team I called the Paper Tiger, and I was 100% very wrong on that.
You were right up until you were wrong. Is what we'll say.
I like where Tyler's head's at.
Yeah,
he's the MVP already. I like it.
I picked the wrong Illinois team, but
that's okay.
Either way, here we go.
In Mitch's defense, SIU embarrassed Illinois State. So
and we all look like fool.
There is that.
Something Missouri football.
Exactly. All right, guys. Tailgate real quick for those that are traveling out to Missoula. We wish them safe travels, and just know that the tailgate starts at 11 a.m. That's mountain time out there, music, snacks, beverages, and that is in spot number 2, which is northwest of Wagriz Stadium. So for those traveling out there, be safe. We wish you the best, and give them hell, right?
Absolutely.
All right, watch parties. Guys, there's a bunch of these popping up. Jake, I know you mentioned JJ's already, but so JJ's, guys, at 3000 West 57th in Sioux Falls, definitely a spot to be. Had a decent turnout there last weekend. Expect even a bigger turnout this weekend. And then a couple more here. One close to home, Toby's, guys, in Meckling, just down the road from Vermilion, putting together a watch party. And then one out in the Black Hills, guys, Rapid City, Valley Sports Bar and Grill out there. And we do have a large, population of Yoke fans out there, and they do have their own group on Facebook and stuff like that. So, if you're out in that area, definitely check out that watch party as well. And I know there's a bunch more. I didn't even put them all in here. I think there was just so many, but I definitely love seeing that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And real quick, can you go back to the tailgate slide?
Yeah.
I want to say this too, for all the Coyote fans that make it out to the game. One thing I want to say, if you're there tailgating, take notes. When you get into the stadium, take notes. Montana and Montana State fans do it right. They've been doing it for so long, and the fact that they've both blown out what they're capable of in the state is really awesome. but their tailgate, their game day experience is top notch. I'd say it gets up there and rivals a lot of FBS programs. Take notes and bring it back with you because we're going to make next year even more fun.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go to, guys, Jersey talk real quick. Got to hit the unis combo for this weekend. Red, white, white.
Classic clean.
I like it as well. I know some people don't
so
like
close to having the icy whites, man. I could have gone either way. I'm all right with the red helmets, but the icy whites too. I wouldn't have been mad at that.
I don't mind. I don't mind the all whites. Oh, here Kate says my favorite part of the show. I don't mind the all whites. Some people say it's a surrender flag white. So I enjoy the red, white as well.
Yes, and then I will say this: I am actually hoping the Grizz go silver, maroon, silver. The same combo they used against State last week. That's a clean looking combo, especially with the script writing that they got.
Everybody's doing a script nowadays for show.
Hey, script's a great way to steal my heart.
So hot right now.
All right. Speaking of so hot right now, the two Montana schools, guys, we mentioned it a bunch already, but looking at the big sky, you got Montana State finishing at the top, Montana with the only loss being to Montana State, and then UC Davis, another playoff team, guys. They snuck in as an 8 seed. They're at third in the conference. We're not going to go through this entire conference, but I just want to show Coyote fans, if you're not familiar with the Big Sky Conference, those are the teams. And like every conference, there's a couple bottom feeders. But
Portland State has one too many wins.
Yes.
People don't forget.
Don't forget. But yeah, no, I just bring it up to give a little bit of high level overview here. The Big Sky Conference, the Missouri Valley Conference, obviously have owned the FCS for a while now, and so those are your power two in the FCS.
Absolutely.
All right, series history versus the Grizz, guys. South Dakota, Montana have met 20 previous times, with Montana leading the all-time series 14-6. The two that I highlighted here is Montana has won 8 straight in this series. And USD's never defeated the Grizz since going to the D1 era, or the D1 level. In the D1 era, 0-5 all time there. And then in Missoula, guys, the Grizz lead the series 11-3 with the last South Dakota win coming in Montana back in 1965. So Grant, to quote what you said when I texted this, was, let's party like it's 1965.
Absolutely. Also, since this is kind of a history fun fact page, I've seen a few people deem it the Joe Glenn Bowl here. Obviously, Joe Glenn winning his national championship out of Montana, and then coming and helping us transition into the Division I era. So wherever he's watching the game from, I'm sure he'll have eyes on that on this game this weekend, I would imagine.
Do you guys remember last year when we went to the Alaris Center up in Grand Forks, and it had been since 1985 when we last won there?
Mm-hmm.
I would just leave it with this page. I would just say we're due.
I agree. Very due.
It'd be really nice.
All right, absolutely. All right, let's give flowers to some of these really awesome players at Montana. First, starting off with Walter Payton Award finalist, guys. It's all about the offense for Montana here. Wide receiver number 6, Michael Wortham, and then quarterback number 8. And make sure I get his name right here. It's Keali'i Ayat. So for all those that see that spelling, you're probably wondering how to say that. You got Keali'i Ayat. All right, so those two, definitely the two studs on offense. But Jerry Rice Award finalists, guys. We're familiar with the Jerry Rice Award after last week against Mercer. A finalist here, Brooks Davis, a wide receiver for them. And then top running back, offensive player of the year in the Big Sky, Eli Gilman, number 10.
Yeah, I think you nailed it, Mitch. I mean, they are an offensive powerhouse, right? They've shown that. They dropped a 50-burger on State last week, which, and you're dropping a 50-burg in playoffs. That's a meaningful stat, right? You're not just throwing 50 on somebody who's a bottom feeder in your conference or some out-of-conference school. That's pretty serious. So no surprise. They've got a lot of reward winners on the offensive side.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, here we go. The Montana fan says perfect pronunciation, man. I practiced that like 50 times before we came on, so make sure I get that right.
I copped out. Ayat. I got it.
I'm going to stick with last names only here.
Yeah, Ayat's good. That's good.
Ayat.
All right, guys, let's tee this thing up. FCS quarterfinals, guys. 3rd year in a row, the Oats have made the quarterfinals to the Elite 8. Here we go. Number 11, South Dakota, 10-4 on the season, guys. Number 3 seed Montana. They are 12-1, 7-1 in the Big Sky. This is, of course, Saturday, December 13th, 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 2:30 Central kick from Wagriz Stadium, guys. That holds 25,217, and they do pack it out. ABC, we get the ABC game, which is absolutely fantastic. And then Coyote Sports Network, John Thayer, Gary Culver, of course, KVHT 106.3 is where to listen. Jake, what do you got for me?
Oh, I was just going to say, it was actually really crazy to watch the SDSU Montana State game. I did see a lot of Montana fans talking about attendance, and they were complaining too. But it was one of those things. I think they put like 18-5, 19 in the stadium last week. And I think Montana fans were saying that the 7 that didn't make it were the 7 that sit on their hands anyways, because right away from the jump, SDSU's first opening play was actually a false start. So they know how to do it right.
Yeah, and I know just looking at message boards, they mentioned weather. I know weather was a factor for the folks that are traveling to Missoula from elsewhere. So I think that was definitely part of it too.
Yeah, I think this will be for our guys this year. They, some of the guys who were on the roster last year, I think, experienced it at Montana State. Even SDSU, when they get their place packed out, it gets pretty loud. But I think this will probably take the top mark as far as noise level in a stadium and just sheer number of folks there. So I know they've been practicing indoors with a lot of noise to try to emulate that, but certainly something you'll have to get used to. Hopefully you can settle in relatively quickly on that.
Yeah, speakers don't do the real thing justice.
No, it does not.
And especially when it's our sound system.
For sure.
That as well.
Okay, speaking of weather, guys, weather tailgate, 38 degrees, cloudy, winds light, southwest 4 miles an hour, and at kickoff, guys, this is phenomenal. 49 degrees, cloudy, wind southwest at 5, near record highs for this time of year in Missoula. If you're a Coyote fan or a Coyote player, you couldn't be more excited because it was colder in Macon, Georgia. Last Saturday, it was 47 and rain, if you remember, as we got quite wet watching that game. 49 degrees sounds pretty darn nice in Missoula this time, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of similar to what it was at Montana State last year, if I recall correctly. That was a week later, but it was also like low 40s, mid 40s, which was just kind of unheard of. So lucked out there. Weather will not be a factor on Saturday, that's for sure.
All right, so actually, I want to pull this up. I've seen 2 here. A couple Grizz fans in there. They have about 22,000 tickets sold already on there. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we all expect them to fill it out, especially because it is what they do, and making it to the Elite 8 for FCS playoffs, it's going to be rocking pretty good. And then South End Zone is sold out, which it is going to be a major factor. And obviously, one of those things that you talk about is make it to OT. We win the coin toss. They're putting us in that South End Zone real quick.
Yeah, that's the strategy, right? The same way we throw the other teams on the end of the student section if we can, when we can, and they'll throw us in the South End Zone if they can too. So,
absolutely.
No, looking at this comment too, feels like 53 in December. Are we sure going south? Yeah, exactly. That's not. When I looked at that, I had a double take. But guys, how about elevation? We got some Montana fans in the comments here. Put this out to them: is the elevation higher in Missoula or Bozeman? I don't actually know the answer to that. Question. I feel like I should know that, but I don't.
I feel like that is your kind of set.
That is definitely in Mitch's wheelhouse. I got nothing for that.
All right, Matt's in here. Their stadium is at a Butte, so there you go. All right, guys, looking at while we wait for that answer, looking at their players, we already highlighted them, but the quarterback Ayat, running back Gilman, wide receiver Wortham. Guys, these are some dudes on offense, and they know how to light up the scoreboard. Looking at our side, guys, we're highlighting Aiden because he's on an absolute tear, along with Fenner. That connection is phenomenal right now. And then on defense, linebacker number 3, Gabe Hardman, who has had a really, really nice season and seems to be also heating up with each game, each passing game in these playoffs. So those are the players we put on here. And then they're, you can see their schedule in the middle, but obviously a lot of green W's as we go down this thing. And their one lone loss being 31-28 to the Bobcats.
Yeah. All right. Real quick before we get into it, Bozeman, Montana is right around 4,790 to 4,800 feet. and Missoula is 3209. So we're getting down out of the clouds a little bit.
All right. Breathe a little easier.
All right.
We're Flatlanders here, so
That's right.
Yeah, we can see the Black Hills from here, actually.
Oh man! All right, guys, give me your thoughts here. Let's break this thing down. Start wherever you'd like.
So I'm actually going to go into right away the note that I want to have. Now, I will say this first and foremost: this Montana team is much better than Mercer. So take that with a grain of salt. But they do
analysis, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. Done. That's the statement. No, but they do run it based off of what I saw. It looks very similar in offense compared to what Mercer ran. And with it, I got fantastic quarterback that is very fluid in the pocket. Not the runner to get the yards, but he'll take off and run when needed. I think he has 7 rushing touchdowns on the season. But it is one of those things where he is going to try to stay behind the line of scrimmage, see what's downfield, and take that opportunity over running the ball. But he has been pretty darn good, and closing out the season lately has been on another level.
Yeah, he's a guy that he definitely wants to pass first, right? I think he's really good at that, extending plays and not giving up on it and tucking it. I don't think that's necessarily his MO. Now, to your point, seen a couple times, and again, I'm not going to pretend like I've watched every single game this year, but seems like when they get in tight near the end zone, near the red zone, is really where he can be dangerous because he will be patient, but then still has the ability to take off. But his skill set's unbelievable. I think he and Aiden are probably playing their best football in the last 2 to 3 weeks, which is exactly what you want from QB1 on both sides of the ball. So it's also very interesting. I think I mentioned earlier, if you're a casual fan of football, if you're just flipping through football games, this is going to be one that you're going to love because you've got the 3-headed monster on both sides of the or on both teams on offense, right? You've got Gilman, you've got Gilman, Ayat, Wortham, and then you've got Bauman, Fenner, and LJ, right? So one at each spot, and all of these guys are off the charts.
Absolutely. And actually, one thing that I like to look at too with these guys, because you have Wortham on here, which is a fantastic wide receiver to have on there. But when they run Wildcat, it's actually him running the Wildcat in the quote unquote quarterback position. And he has 6 rushing touchdowns on the season as well. So, I mean, he is all over the field. They want to make sure that the ball ends up in his hands in pretty much any situation if it isn't going to go to Gilman. And the way they run it actually kind of reminds me of what NDSU used to do with Cole Payton and what SCSU did with Chase Mason previously too, where they kind of ran a zone and had the lead blocker from the running back, and they just hit the hole as hard as they can, as fast as they can.
What are your thoughts, guys? I know, you see they run the RPO game as well, but they also spread it out with 5 wide, and seeing all the different receivers that they have. And obviously they're a very pass heavy team, obviously good running back, but they do like to pass quite a bit. And so they run some 5 wide stuff. I don't know specifically, defense, what we're going to do to combat that, but you got to think that with head coach Travis Johansson being a D coordinator and then Billy Kurtz, you got to think that they're going to be scheming and disguising just like they did against that Mercer quarterback to try to confuse this young quarterback, because he is a sophomore and played kind of hit and miss last year as they rotated quarterbacks, and then this year it's been all him. So he's not a 5th or 6th year super senior type of player, and so do we do something to confuse him and maybe force a turnover or 2, which could be enough to swing this game?
Yeah, and actually this is something interesting to look at as well. We went into the Mercer game, and what did I say? Atkinson had been sacked, was it 5 times? No, 3 times in the season.
3, yep.
5 total. Ayat has been sacked 21 times. And now, first and foremost, to everybody that watches, this is based off of what ESPN has. So if the stats are incorrect, blame ESPN on that one. But that does say that, like I said, he likes to move around the pocket, get outside the pocket, and try to throw downfield instead of running. That does tell me that he does have the opportunity to hold on to the ball too long as well. So that is something that to keep an eye on. But I like our opportunity where we could get Caden Crawford going now, Dickel. Hopefully we can get some D-end work going there to contain the pocket and collapse it down on him.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, think about pressure, and we do get pressure, but he's mobile enough. He's not like a true running quarterback like you've seen some of these guys that we've faced in the valley and such, but he's mobile enough that he can get it done, and he's slippery to where he can slip through and get that first down if we're not keeping contained. So that's kind of a double-edged sword there, Jake, trying to get pressure, but at the same time, big third down, 3rd and 7, he slips away and gets that first down in a critical situation. Like he's that good, right?
He's good in the sense that he just gets that yard or two, those extra yards. His longest run on the season is 18 yards.
Right.
For reference, Aiden's longest run is 12. So they're not far apart in that sense. He is.
Let's go.
Like the easiest way to say it is when there's pressure, he just goes to where there isn't pressure. It is really good. His pocket awareness is fantastic. He is better than Atkinson on it. So it really does continue to keep going with what we figured out with Atkinson, and keeping the pocket in a C shape really is what you want to see, and just keep in there and hoping you can get in there, cause some pressure, whether it's a misfire or a sack. But that's really what it's going to take, especially with a 4-man rush.
How do you think, just looking at line of scrimmage battle, a lot of times when you get into these games, these top tier teams, it's big boy football. You're looking at the line of scrimmage. How do you think our D line matches up with their O line, or I guess maybe our front 7 with their offensive line / running game?
Now, I will say, for the most part, obviously they gave up 21 sacks, so that is quite a high number on the season. But I will say, for the most part, their pass protection is getting better and better as the games go. But there are going to be opportunities for us to eat. I would say the run blocking's average, but Gilman makes it look way better because he's the number 2 running back in the nation behind LJ.
He's electric. Yeah, he's electric.
Fantastic. And so, with that, he makes it look like it's better. But State had opportunities to tackle in the backfield. There was plenty of tackles for losses. But it was also balanced out in the fact that he broke off 20-yard runs here and there as well. So it's just coming to being able to actually touching on Joshua's comment here. He's worried about Montana's toughness versus Yote's lack of ability to wrap up, which I agree on. I've seen it too many times where we hit hard, but the arms do not go around the ball carrier. And that's really what we're going to need from this team this year, or from the team this game.
I'll counter that, Jake, and just say that if they play and swarm to the ball they did against Mercer, where you got 5, 6, 7 defenders, you're just coming in literal waves to the ball carrier or to the receiver, that won't be a problem because this Yotes defense was flying around last Saturday. And if they do that again, I really like our chances in at least slowing down this high-powered offense.
Yep, exactly.
I'll just make the one comment. I think across the line of scrimmage, right, front 7 and things. I think we outsize them by average, if I recall, especially on the offensive line. As physical as Yotes have been playing over the last 3-4 weeks, I don't anticipate there being like any concern physicality size-wise across the line of scrimmage. I don't necessarily think that equates to us dominating like at the line of scrimmage necessarily, but I don't have any concerns like, oh my gosh, we're outmatched in this position or here, there. I don't see any like glaring mismatches that have come up as we've kind of watched tape. So I think to your point, and this is again maybe a little bit cliche, but when you have 2 running backs as good as Gilman and Phillips, both teams are desperately going to get those guys going, and whoever figures it out is going to have full control of what happens in the game. You get 2 teams that are trying to get one-dimensional. Just doesn't feel like a very good formula for us to win at, but either or them, right? I think you mentioned it, the way Kirch and Johansson have teed things up this year. You get one-dimensional, you're in a really bad place from what we've done defensively.
Absolutely. Now, I will say, and having Loud coming back from Montana is definitely a major positive for their pass coverage, but their pass coverage has been susceptible to some big plays. Yep. And I think they rely on the D line and the linebackers to create pressure. So that is something to definitely look at as an opportunity. I mean, State had a 95-yard touchdown just because the coverage was corners sank off and the safety took out the corner's legs. It was definitely a bonus play for the bunnies on that one. But yeah, if we go one-dimensional on it, there's going to be an opportunity at least. But they're not afraid to rush 3, drop 8 as well.
Hey, since you switched to that side of the ball, Jake, I'm going to switch to the next slide, and fans can take a look at where the rankings are FCS-wise by stat there. But yeah, let's keep talking about offense, our offense versus their defense.
Absolutely. And like I said, this one feels very familiar to talk about compared to last week, actually. I'd love to compare the Grizzlies versus Mercers on this. Now, I will say Big Sky versus SoCon is way different, and Big Sky is much better. But these numbers look very similar.
Yeah, I agree, especially their offensive side. Defensive side, guys, their glaring weakness is the pass defense. Like Jake mentioned, they do get their cornerback. He came back last week, had missed 5, 6, 7 games, whatever it was, but Loud comes back to help with that. But yeah, passing defense, guys, going to be some opportunities there. They seem to get beat by the big play.
Yeah. And, I won't knock him for that 95-yard touchdown against State just because it was kind of reminded me of the Minneapolis Miracle where the 2 defenders take each other out and then you have a ref outrun the wide receiver for the touchdown.
I actually saw that. I saw that highlight clip. That was phenomenal.
See, the thing that's interesting too, I would say again, I know we talk about how much better the Yotes have gotten over the course of this year and especially in the last month, but a month ago, I would have said, man, this is a game that we just can't afford to go down 2 scores in, right? Like, I just don't see a way that we can game plan to get out of it. I think both teams are well equipped to play from behind if they have to. So I don't think if either team gets into a position where they're down 10, 14, whatever points, I don't think either team's going to panic or blink, to be honest. So
no.
We've seen it. I know, again, once you've realized that Fenner can score literally anywhere on the field, I think it gives you a really high level of confidence. And I need to fact check this, but I did listen to a podcast today that said not only is Fenner the #1 touchdown scorer for wide receiver in FCS, it's all of college football now with 15 touchdowns. So, or all of Division I, excuse me, with crazy. 15 touchdowns. So,
Isn't that crazy? The #1 rusher in terms of yards and #1 receiver in terms of touchdowns, and we've been picking on the offense all season, guys.
Right. That's what I mean. Like that, it's got to stop now, right? Like the last month especially that's no more, right? It's early in the year. You know this team got down 14 points. You're like, well, that's it. That's over. But we saw it against SIU. We can come back down 17, right? Forcing overtime. An offensive clinic last week against Mercer, which we're not sure how good they are, based off of what competition level they played. But boy, I think it's going to be a really good game on Saturday. Yeah.
I like this comment from the Montana fan here, Jake. Grizz defense is funky this year, 115th, in passing defense. And that's, of course, yards given up. But then second in interceptions, it's because they're so damn aggressive. They gamble, they jump routes, they do things where it's kind of high risk, high reward. And with that comes the, obviously the reward is getting those interceptions, but the risk is getting the ball thrown over your head or giving up some big play. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out because we know the Yotes and what they do offensively with the run to set up the pass and trying to be balanced and all those things, but we're going to take shots. Yeah, and absolutely. If those hit, guys, you hit 2 or 3 explosives in this game, I think that's enough. I think it's enough to get it done. And, so I'm very curious to see just how risky that Montana secondary plays this game because it could be feast or famine for them.
Well, it'll be interesting, too, because USD has turned the ball over 1 time in the last 9 games.
Yes.
1 time, right? So, I think if you're relying on turnovers, this is not a game for you, right? Aiden has taken care of the ball all year. The entire offense has. I just don't see them getting many opportunities to turn the ball over. So if that's what you're relying on, I think you're not going to like the results there. And to your point, Mitch, that could lead to some big plays if you're really risking it for a turnover that isn't going to happen.
Absolutely. And, that's where my quiet confidence comes from with this is just having Aiden walk in to Montana after walking into Montana State last year. And I know they don't like being compared by any means, but they're the same in a sense. They're both extremely loud, passionate stadiums. And having been through it once, and we had all the opportunities in the world to actually knock off Montana State in that game, but just couldn't get it done in the red zone. I definitely know they're itching for this one. Obviously, it's not a rematch, but I could see them kind of thinking like a little bit of a rematch compared to last year.
Yeah, I think it's a fair point. It's a similar vibe, right? You're hitting the road to an opponent that historically has had a ton of success, one of the hardest places to play in the country. And I think getting a game similar to that under your belt from Montana State last year and having that game leave a really bad taste in your mouth, thinking, boy, we had an opportunity to win that game in multiple areas. I think that experience definitely helps him for this game.
Absolutely. I think the only thing that I'd really like to have, and this is absolutely no knock on Wyatt Lawson on the center side of things, because he's done a phenomenal job this year, and I think he'll do great here too. But I kind of would love to have Joey back for this game too. Just the center, just to help control the game and keep Aiden calm on this one. And also somebody that lived through the process there, or the game last year. So that's something that I'd like to have. But I do think they'll be able to settle in on this and really establish themselves.
Are you looking, I guess, is that coming from a place of like the environment, the crowd, or where are you coming at with that comment? Because he's obviously he's been rock solid in this year, and I think he's only gotten better as the year goes. So I guess I just wondering where you're coming from with that, where your head's at.
Yeah, it's more environment set. And when you get into a situation like this where you have 20,000+ fans yelling directly at you, it's hard for the communication. And to be able to have that connection between the center and the quarterback always means just so much more. I mean, I just got done watching the State Montana game, and the center didn't snap the ball. Everybody else moved except for the center. And like, obviously it's a false start on them, but it came down to poor communication between the center and Chase Mason.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a big challenge for sure. And it's a challenge within a challenge, right? Guys, I want to go back real quick because I don't think we talked about him enough, but flipping it back to Montana's offense real quick and looking at this slide here with Michael Wortham. I think he's a X factor in this game, right? Because they move him around so much. They do so many different things with him, and he's got speed to burn. And he's not a big receiver. I mean, he's like our, Karan Adams type from last year and Tennell Bryant this year.
5'9", 170.
I mean, and they say he's quick, and they're going to get him the ball, whether that's in the slot, out wide, maybe it's some sort of wide receiver reverse type stuff or some sort of trick play. They do so much with him, and so he's the X factor. We just always need to make sure we know where he's at on the field at all times, outside of obviously stopping that running Gilman. But I want to go back to him because he's worth noting that he can flip the game on its head with one big explosive play, get that stadium rocking, speaking of that environment. And so that is one guy to watch there on their offense.
Well, and I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, he runs a lot of the Wildcat stuff for him as well.
Yep.
I wouldn't be shocked if you see a pop pass from him to the tight end on a fake run. Like they want to get him involved in every sense of the game, and because he's just wild in how he plays. And you sit there and you talk about how he becomes an X factor, and you question where he's at. But then you got Davis as the Jerry Rice finalist there on the other side, and now you're like, okay, what do I do? And then all of a sudden Bohannon's on the other side, and then you got Deck, and they're 4 wide receivers. Like, they split out 4, they're great, and then all of a sudden they're rolling their running back out of the backfield into the passing offense, and they're burning you. They will get everybody involved. They are schematically very impressive, actually, when it comes to the offense. They're not afraid to get anybody involved, and their running backs all have quite a few catches on the season as well. So it really blows my mind. The one to watch the most actually out of the backfield is Stevie Rocker. He does a really good job on it. I believe he's number 21, if I remember correctly, but he does a great job. He has 24 catches on the season, and Gilman has 28. Like, they want to get there. They want to just get people in space is really what they want to do.
Absolutely. Then flipping it back the other way here with Nacito's comment. But in this tough environment, Aiden will be the oldest, most experienced player on the team. That's a big plus in my opinion. I agree, because he brings not only experience, but that calming effect to the team, and we go as he goes. And so I do agree. I think that does give us the edge in terms of quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I will say with it too, the last thing to watch on the Grizzlies offense, just as a whole, especially their passing offense, what they like to do on their routes is either 5 to 8 yard stop routes, out routes, or end routes. And that's really what their routes look like as a whole. And then they just want to get their receivers in space and let them get those yards. It was actually really impressive to watch the state game. I just let his receivers do work. And then when you got lulled to sleep in those out routes and you started to try, like, okay, I'm going to jump this one because I got this. All of a sudden, they're going over top deck. And I think it was Wortham both had 2 long receiving yards of 20 plus. His fade route passing capabilities are impressive. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Don't get lulled to sleep. Always have your man in front of you.
Yeah, and I think with that, we're going to need, I mean, the secondary is going to be all hands on deck this weekend, right? And as we know, Mikey Munn and RJ Stewart have peaked, right? I think they are literally playing their best football of the year right now, which I don't know if you can always say that, right? It's hard to say that, a guy is getting better and better, but those two are going to have a really busy day with as much as they spread it out. And then bring in whoever else, right? You talk about a 5 wide look, 4 wide with Gilman in the backfield type stuff. You're going to need everybody. So I'm excited to see how that matchup goes. Like I said, it's going to be a hell of a game for sure.
And the one thing I want to touch on too with it is with our defense, I could really see us going into a dime setup where we do bring in 5 secondary players. And
I think you have to. There's going to be certain situations where we're going to have no choice.
I mean, we do that regardless the situation sometimes too.
Yep.
But with Ashton Payne and Jaden Brown stepping up in their spots, I definitely feel more comfortable in dropping into the dime where we drop into a 4 D linemen, 2 linebackers, and you have 5 behind. So it's going to be fun to watch. This is going to be the true chess game.
It is. It absolutely is. As I said at the top, it's very curious to see what Coach Johansson and Coach Kirch have cooked up for this, because it presents a giant challenge with all the weapons that they have. But guys, moving on here to the lines for entertainment purposes only. Let's take a look at Sagarin. Guys, the Yotes have finally cracked the top 100. We are 96th ranked. Finally. We've been watching this every week.
47-0 game.
Every week we've been inching and inching, but we finally cracked the top 100. The Grizz 72 overall there. And that's out of 265 schools, right, guys? Because that is the FBS and FCS combined there. So pretty phenomenal to see where these teams actually stack up on the bigger picture too. But Reddit FCS guys, Grizz -10. FanDuel had the Grizz -8.5. Grant, has that moved, or is that still 8.5? Do you know?
I believe this morning I saw it at 7.5. That line has gone bananas this week. I've never seen line movement on a game. So this, just for context,
it started at like 6.5, didn't it?
Started at around 7, went all the way down to 5. I saw it jump up to 9, and now it seems like it's kind of settled in at this 8.5, 7.5 range. So
absolutely crazy.
Yeah, but I believe I can trust but verify on that. But I believe that's where it's 7.5 is what it is at today. So a lot of excitement in the sports gambling world.
I'll say there's a lot of money flowing on this one. And honestly, if you look at the weekend matchups, this is probably one of, if not the best one. And that's not just being biased.
I know we're biased, but I would totally agree. If you're a neutral fan, this is the game to watch, no doubt.
Absolutely. And that's why we got the ABC 2:30 slot, right? So
yeah, TV providers agree, right?
Absolutely.
And it's just so. I'll say this too, just taking a step back as a Coyote fan and looking at this. This is 3 years in a row now that we've been on ABC. And that just means so much for this university, getting their name out there. We're not accidentally being called South Dakota State anymore. I'll say it seems like it's been really cut down compared.
We're going to get called South Dakota State on
looking
Saturday,
at you, sure. ESPN.
Exactly. And it happens. Like, heck, I mean, I've heard Iowa State, like they go back and forth on those too. Like the big programs even get called that. But I've seen that number, or the times this happened, come down. And let's go back 4 years of where we were at. And now all of a sudden we're talking about 3 years in a row on ABC, 3 years in a row in the Elite Eight. Football at USD is heading in the right direction, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon.
Yep, well said. Well said. And Massey, guys, likes the Grizz by 3. They final score of 31-28. So with that being said, guys, let's go to the pick segment. This is sponsored by, hey, our friend, Yote Hat Alley. Amazing Adventures by Alley. Your travel game plan. No flags, no fumbles, all fun. Go Yotes. Make sure to check her Facebook page out. You can message her over there to book anything and everything that you want travel related. She'll hook you up. And with that being said, let's get right to the picks. Yote Hat Alley coming in hot with the Yotes, 31-27.
There you go.
And guys, those hanging out in the comments with us here as we approach the hour mark, make sure you get your predictions in there, and we'll throw them up on the screen here in a hot second. As we flip over, Jake, go ahead, start putting those up for me if you would.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got to go all the way up because Matt got here early with his. We can't forget him. So we'll start off with Matt bringing it in because he said he was going to miss, and then all of a sudden he showed up. 38-27 Yotes.
He was grooming that baby. He was grooming that baby mustache of his. That's why he was late.
Is, absolutely. Wow, the chat is going absolutely nuts. I'm trying to keep up with all these here.
That's why I put you in charge of this and not me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're flying in now. Oh boy,
they are. Yes, please continue this on. This is fun. All right, now we got Ray bringing it in 35-28. I'm seeing a lot of one possession games in here as a whole. 35-27. I think Yote fan just didn't want to be the same as Ray, so he changed one number there. Thanks, Matt, for putting yours in there for us again. So I didn't have to scroll there. Kirch here, 35-17. A little defensive stand getting Ayat to go disappear. That
doubling them up. Holy moly.
If we hold Montana to 17 or less points, I will be unsufferable next week.
We all talked about how McKinnell mentioned it last week. The Yotes win 42-17. That's definitely going to draw a lot of attention to what South Dakota could be in the playoffs. You win 35-17. I think you're being penciled in as the favorite to win it all then. All right, so
you won't be able to tell me anything next week. 17.
Here we go. Here's Joel.
Yep, we got Joel here, 34-27. Again, it seems like for the most part we're flirting with that one possession game. I actually like Pats a lot. If we can get it into that grinder of a game where we get the time of possession up to about 33 minutes in that game, Will with a walk-off kick to send us in. Now, the group chat was fun this afternoon because we realized obviously the elevation is not as high as Bozeman, but it's still up there. What's Zeke's range in the mountains?
That's right.
60. So, I dare I say 65, guys. 65 in elevation.
Could be. Hey, I'll make a comment on Pat's score. That is one we've talked about it before, but this is yet again another game. The lower the score, the better for the Yotes, right? I think that's a pretty well consensus from both sides would agree with that.
All
Pat mentions grinder. Now we needed somebody to throw out rock fight.
Yeah, rock fight. Now this one would shake.
This will put me in a coma
to the core.
Carson, I want whatever you're having.
I will drain the bar of the Bloody Marys at JJ's this weekend if this is the score. I'll
be
tie me to the hitch and drag me home, honey. I'm not making it. I'm not walking there.
Well, Coyote Nation's confidence has definitely gone up since maybe the last game of the season here as we entered the playoffs and then beat down Mercer.
47-0 is something to grab your attention. All right, we got Jordan Decker joining us here. 38-34 Yotes. There's a lot of potential on this one. As long as we can keep it a one possession, that's where the game gets interesting. And we just can't let it go. Them score, us punt, them score again. That will really grind a lot of things to a halt. Obviously, we have the mental capabilities of calming ourselves down and getting it back in the game. But it's never fun to fight that uphill battle by any means. And then, of course, we got our Grizz fans here coming in too. 34-31, respectable game. It's interesting.
Very similar in terms of total points too, because we're all kind of around that 31 number. It seems like 31-28 in there. So exactly. 34-31. That's a very realistic prediction.
Now this one is hurtful. I will say that. DK Leap. Just because we did beat State, I want you to remember that we beat State. You beat State. we're 7 points better than the state. So I want you to revise yours. You can pick Montana to win, but
give us a few more points. 52 to 30. That's 50. A ton of points. That's a shootout, and not in our favor, but that's a lot of points. And I don't see it. I do not see it.
This is no disrespect to Montana's offense because I do think it's really good, but I just don't see 52 points happening to USD. That's really what I want to say.
That's disrespectful to our defense. That's what
I was just about to say the same thing. I don't see 52. I don't see our defense giving up 52. However, on the flip side of that, if Montana does score 52, absolutely, that's a dub, right? I mean,
it's done. Game over.
We give up 52.
Pack it up.
That'll end the season. So take it with both sides of that coin.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go. We still have a few more on here. I'll go ahead and pull them up, but Mitch, let's throw yours in there now.
All right. Sounds good to me. I am coming in. I'm flipping the script on Massey, by the way. I've liked Massey kind of all year, guys, but don't like him here because he went 31-28 Grizz. I'm going 31-28 Yotes.
Now, and I want to say this too with Massey's prediction because it is computer-based score prediction, but that is a ton of respect. The computer is actually saying on just a regular field that Yotes probably would be favored. Because I'd give Montana 6.5 on pretty much any game in their stadium.
Yeah, for sure.
So, that's definitely a thing to look at here. All right, and we're going to keep rolling through the crowd. 34-28 from Ornat here. Yotes winning on that one. Actually, back-to-back guesses on that one. We got Josh coming in too at 34-28. Some good
Hive mind, Grant. Hive mind.
We're getting there.
There we go.
I love to see it. You know what, Coyote Nation, we hit some spots this season where I will say the chat's got a little questionable. But now all of a sudden I've yet to see anybody, really make it a tough decision to say that USD wins in Montana as on the number 3 team's field. It is going to be an uphill battle for sure. But I think there's an opportunity and we're loaded correctly on our way of doing it.
Keep it going, Jake. We got a couple more here. We got Jordan's changing his mind. What is he doing? This is bananas. Hey, Grant has somewhere to be after this game, so we can't be having a three overtime thriller. Cardiac Coyotes here with a 55-52 score. Delays the Heisman Trophy presentation. Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
All right, Jordan, I will say this, though. You're going to have to revise your score just a hair unless you're calling for an interception, but it would be 4 points. In the third overtime, you can only win by 2.
Yes, because you have to go for 2, right?
You have to go for 2 in that. So
yes, 2's only.
Unless we have a pick 6, and then it'd be 56-52.
Oh man, yeah, he caught himself. Yeah, all right, Grant, I'm gonna throw yours up. Let's go.
Yep, we're all through them all. All right, there you go, Grant.
As he froze, perfect timing. I think his score prediction broke his internet.
It did. Yep. So 36-35. I know he was talking about it being a close one. I can't remember what he said it would be. You back, Grant?
He had a whole spiel for this too. That's how this math was going to work out. 36-35. He was so excited to give us this. So
all right,
he better get his butt back here.
Let's go ahead and flip to mine then, and hopefully he can come back soon here. We'll probably see him disconnect. I'm at 30-27. One thing, there he just left. So we'll get him. We'll remove him there. Let's see if we can get him loaded in. So my prediction, and it kind of comes down to how I watched from the Montana SDSU game. We're better than State by far, and their ability to really slow down Montana once they got to the red zone is where I think it kind of turns into a field goal fest. And that's where I'm coming up with the 30-27. And I would love to see a walk-off by Will.
That's not a bad take, Jake, because they have a very good red zone defense. And so if you think about that and turn it into a field goal fest, that very well could happen, actually.
Exactly. So 3 field goals, 2 field goals.
Yeah, I like that.
3 touchdown piece. And let's see. I don't know if he's back yet, so we'll see. Now with it, we all did kind of talk about LJ. He's 156 yards away from 2,000 yards even, if I remember correctly on the math.
Yeah, it's like 154, 156, something like that. Yep.
And I'm not saying the opportunity is there for him to get up to 156 this week, but I definitely feel like if we break 100 to 125, I really think we have a great opportunity to win that game.
Yeah, I like our chances kind of twofold there. If LJ gets over 100 and you keep Gilman to like 60 to 80, somewhere in there. I think 80 is kind of the number. When he goes over, 80 plus or even 100 plus, I mean, I think that's a pretty good stat for either team, for either LJ or Eli. When their team gets over 100 yards, usually that's at least one touchdown, maybe two rushing touchdowns there. That team usually wins, and so I definitely think that's a key in this one. And yeah, LJ's getting close to that 2,000 number for the year, which is mind-boggling.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to bring this up. Didn't y'all be banged up state team? Well, and we also beat a North Dakota team by more than 1 point too. So there is that as well.
You can't, at this time of year, you can't use that transitive property and try to cross compare anymore because the teams are so different. I know fans get kind of, they latch on to stuff like that, but like throw all that out the window. It's all junk at this point.
He went mobile on us. All right, let's hear the 36-35 and let's get these fine folks home.
I was so excited to play out this math for everybody, and then I just cut out. The Wi-Fi's gone, so we went mobile. Yeah, I've got it 36-35. I was going to paint you this picture here, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay, because I envision a score where we're down 28-35, 4 minutes left in the game, drive in, score with about 15 seconds left on the game clock. Coach looks at the players and says, what do we want to do? They all say, we're going for two. They go for two. They make it. Stadium goes silent, and the Yotes move on.
As we witness an avalanche in the mountain in the distance.
That's right. That's right.
Similar to what Illinois State did to NDSU.
Exactly right. Just take a play. Just watch a little bit of that film and make it happen.
Absolutely.
Let's go down. Let's be down 7, not down 14, though. Let's do that route.
Let's just not do cardiac coyotes. How about that?
Let's just not go down.
Yeah. Let's not go down.
Or just win by 21. Yeah, that's fine too.
All right. Go ahead and flip us to that last slide there, Mitch.
All right, fellas.
Take care. This was fun. Shout out to all of Montana fans that joined us in here. This was one of the craziest lives we've had. So thank you to the folks out west joining us for this. I've heard the hospitality is fantastic. I hope the Coyotes that make the trip enjoy themselves from it. To everybody that's watching at a watch party, let's have some fun. With that being said, go Yotes.
Go Yotes.
Go Yotes.